My husband of 6 years casually drops this bomb on me over dinner. His ex-girlfriend wants a baby, and he is going to be the father. Why? Because I might have fertility issues, and he doesn't want to miss his chance. I sat there staring at the man I married, wondering if I was losing my mind or if my entire life was a lie. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are diving into a wild post from the r/relationship_advice subreddit posted by user G. Let's get right into the post. So my husband unleashes this on me 3 days ago, and I am honestly still in shock. We were just sitting there, talking over dinner like we always do, when he casually mentions that a longtime friend of his wants to have a baby. I don't know this woman personally, but he has talked about her before. Apparently, she asked him to be her sperm donor. When he told me, he looked really proud. He said he was very flattered and that he actually wanted to do it. At first, I was really surprised, but I wasn't angry right away. Even though I didn't like the idea at all, I didn't want to jump to the wrong conclusions or start a fight for no reason. So I just told him to explain a little bit more about what this actually meant. He tells me she has wanted a kid for a while, and she decided not to wait for a relationship anymore. I asked him if it would be hard for him to know that somewhere out there, he had a child that he couldn't see or be a part of. I wanted to know if that would mess with him emotionally. Then he drops the really upsetting news. This woman wants him to actually be the father figure. She wants him to be a part of the kid's life, like the actual dad. I immediately hated this idea for one huge reason. He has been intimate with this woman before. They dated in their early 20s. He refers to her as a friend now. And before this exact moment, I never minded their friendship. I assumed they didn't think of each other that way anymore. They still might not, to be fair. But isn't it incredibly intimate to share the active parenting of a child? I just didn't know if they would keep it strictly friendly, considering their history and this massive, life-changing thing they want to do together. When I told him how I felt, he said I was overreacting. He told me I wasn't showing any trust in him, that I was being insecure, and that it was insulting because he had always been loyal to me. He said I had no reason not to trust him. And honestly, that was true, but it was just so uncomfortable for me to even think about. There is another huge issue here, too. He and I have talked about having children. I let him know fairly early in our relationship, right when we started getting serious, that I have some fertility issues that might make it hard to have kids in the future. I told him that I never got a specialist's opinion and nothing was certain, but a doctor once told me it could be a concern. It wasn't something I thought about every day. We had both agreed to put off planning a family for a few years. So to me, it was a distant issue, something we would deal with later when we were actually trying to get pregnant. Instead of being supportive, he used this against me. He goes on to tell me that he and this woman have been discussing this baby plan for a few days, and he is going to do it because I might not be able to have his kids anyway. He said, if it turns out I can't, he wants to take this opportunity now because he might not get another one later. I felt so hurt. My immediate reaction was feeling completely inadequate, even though we haven't even started trying for kids yet. I haven't even seen a specialist, but I felt completely written off. I was shocked and just so incredibly upset. But deep down, his words got to me. I started to wonder, what if I really can't have kids? Is it fair to deny him the chance to be a father? Am I looking at this the wrong way? Truthfully, he has always been faithful to me. Could this weird dynamic somehow work out in a way I just couldn't see yet? I was so weirded out, I couldn't even picture what our future would look like. We ended up getting into a massive argument. He told me I was being selfish because he has always wanted children, and I couldn't expect him to give up his biggest dream. He kept saying he wasn't cheating with this other woman. He promised they weren't going to have sex to make the baby. He claimed it would be like he just has a kid he fathers. and the kid will live with a friend. He said it really had nothing to do with our relationship. He called it his own personal matter and said I wouldn't have to do anything. I honestly think that's how he views it. He talked about it like when someone in a marriage has an expensive, time-consuming hobby that their partner doesn't enjoy, but they still let them do it anyway. But this is a child, not a sailboat. This is a woman he has dated and slept with, even if it was a long time ago. And that is what felt so wrong to me. I had never been in this position before, so I didn't know if I was just freaking out over nothing. I didn't know if people normally do things like this or how to even handle it. A child would be a huge part of his life that I apparently would have no part in. I needed a reality check. I couldn't understand how he thought this was a reasonable request. The whole thing was so ridiculous that a part of me wondered if he was just trying to cover his tracks. I think it's best thing when you feel stuck, try to talk community on Reddit, and community response, like someone own. OP write post, and there are top comments I choose to share with you. Let's look at a few of the top comments. Comment 1. Oh, hell freaking no. It's not a hobby, it's a child. A living, breathing human being who has needs like a father. He can't treat the child like a puppy or a weekend project. It'll be his kid. All of your objections are absolutely correct. They will have a relationship that you don't share in. There will be a degree of intimacy between them. He'll be financially bound to her. Hello, child support. This will absolutely involve you. Every single thing you two do will be tinged with this child. Every vacation, every holiday, hell, every weekend. Basically, he wants a little family unit with her and not you. Comment 2. For me, just the fact that he entertained this notion would be grounds for an ultimatum. We are going to therapy now, and if he ever so much as speaks to this woman again, we are breaking up. If he argues or goes through with it, I'd be flinging divorce papers in his face an hour later. Does he understand that he's going to be financially responsible for this child? That makes you financially responsible for it too. He wants to be a parent. And in the worst case, you're infertile? Then you adopt together. You are not being selfish. Comment 3. Are you sure they're not sleeping together and she's already pregnant? Seeing as how he's made the decision without you and is now blaming you for being uncomfortable with it, it sounds like an elaborate scheme to cover up a love child that has already been conceived. Tell him you want to talk with this woman to discuss this arrangement. If he declines that reasonable request, then there is something more going on. I hope I'm wrong, but he sounds like a cheating scumbag. After reading the comments and watching some advice videos, the OP shared an update. Let me share it with you. Again, I humbly request, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, share your opinion in the comment section. OP updates 11 days later. Well, everyone in the comments was right. He was cheating. Surprise, surprise. After reading what everyone had to say, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I called the girl behind his back and found out absolutely everything. She was not nice about it at all. It was not a fun conversation. I asked her if she was pregnant, and she said no. But apparently, it wasn't for lack of trying. She was pretty up in my face about it on the phone. It was easily the worst conversation of my entire life. I can honestly say I have never seen red until she actually started laughing at me. There is nothing else I can say except I am out of there, and the divorce is happening. We dated for 3 years. We were married for 3 years. And I feel like a stupid idiot. I cannot believe I didn't see it before. It makes me cringe to look back at my original post. How naive could you be? Damn. One commenter told me not to beat myself up, saying that when you love someone, you see the best in them, and your mind wants to believe they are good. I am trying to remember that. But right now, whatever. They can have each other. F them. I would like to add my own thoughts. I also request that you please share your thoughts in the comment section. OP, you are not stupid. And you have absolutely nothing to cringe about. You trusted your husband of 6 years, because that is exactly what you are supposed to do in a healthy marriage. The way he tried to manipulate the situation is genuinely sickening. Instead of just admitting he was having an affair, he came up with this crazy, twisted plan to convince his wife to accept his affair partner's baby as a hobby. And the worst part? He used OP's deepest vulnerabilities, her unconfirmed fears about her fertility, to make her feel guilty enough to agree to it. He tried to make her feel like she owed him this, because her body might be flawed. That is next-level emotional abuse. He didn't want to be a noble sperm donor. He wanted a free pass to start a second family with his ex-girlfriend without having to pay for a divorce or lose the comfort of his current life. He wanted to trap OP into funding and supporting his double life. And as for the affair partner laughing on the phone, what an absolutely miserable human being. She thinks she won a prize, but all she won is a liar and a cheater who will probably do the exact same thing to her in a few years. If a man can sit across from his wife at the dinner table and lie that smoothly, he is not capable of real loyalty to anyone. The only good news here is that OP found out the truth before a child was actually brought into this mess. She didn't waste another year. She didn't get financially tied to this other woman, and she didn't compromise her own boundaries. She stood her ground, found the truth, and walked away. That takes serious strength.